Glaybo.
Sure. I gotta go get my beanie before.
Glaybo. What's the
Sure.
word, Glay?
Ain't nothing, man. Let's see. I watched a movie on Netflix called. I think it's called Turn. Y'all got to check that out. Little old school. You know. America type shit.
America types.
Robbing, killing, stealing.
Some stuff we love. You know what we love, what we do. This America.
Very good. Let me grab my beanie before Finn says so.
Do your thing, baby. Do your thing, baby. Do your thing, man. Grand Rising to all, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you're joining, please make sure that you like, and subscribe. I'm gonna throw the headphones on today. Let me see if today we already got a photo of Steve. Steve hit, I think, a 2-mile ruck. So yeah, I gotta figure out a way to get back on my AM routine. Just been staying up so late. I'm like, I can't. Getting 3 hours of sleep, 4 hours of sleep if I'm lucky. Yesterday we had our holiday party, man. But what's up with y'all, man? How's everything going? We got Finn in the building. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. Finn, let's actually hold on to that. That's something that I want to elaborate on later on in the show, if that's okay with you. Definitely remind me to tap back into that. We can turn the music off. But yeah, definitely remind me to come back to that. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. I wanna lock in on that. That's something that I want to build from. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. The Honorable Marcus Aurelius. Shout out to Critical in the building. Cheers. Hope y'all all's day is great. Yes, yes, yes. Critical. All is well. All is well. Shout out to Big Bro Steve in the building. Good morning to all. It's going to be a great day. That is a fact. Whew. Whew. Critical coming through. Made 7-minute miles today, but could only keep it for 4 miles. Felt good anyway. I hate getting old, bro. Stop it. Stop it. That ain't getting old. That is not getting old. 7-minute miles? Bro, come on now. Come on, man. That's that Finn Critical needs to be studied doing those 7-minute miles. But good morning, you beautiful people. Yeah, so what we got today? Hold on, let me make sure that we ain't got anybody else in the building. Boom, boom, boom. Shout out to Phyllis. I see Phyllis in the building. Shout out to Robert. I see Robert in the building. Of course, we got Unc in the building. Grand Rising,
Where you been
Grand
at?
Rising, BK.
Where Unc been at a couple days?
Unc around. He around. Okay. He's been sending some dope videos. It's hard to keep up. He's been sending some good videos though.
Got you. Okay.
Misinformed looks like he can bench 405. You still got it in you, cuz?
Nah, I'm probably down to 3, 2 and some change type.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm barely.
Barely.
Yo, I went to the holiday party. They like 3 or 4 people. Yo, you lost a lot of weight. I'm like really? Like, all right, like, yeah. And then the lady started elaborating. My old homegirl that I used to work with a while ago too. She's like, yeah, it's in your face. Like, I kind of walked away and she came back. Yeah, it's all in your face. Like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I haven't had, meat, fish in a while. So, I lost a little bit of weight.
Like, do you take any subs?
Nah, bro. I haven't had meat, fish, or eggs. It'll be six years next week. No supplements. I'm barely eating more than once a day, once or twice a day. I eat once or twice a day. Most of the time, twice.
Yeah.
But who knows? Been running my whole life. That's how you keep it going. I actually get high on running. Yeah, that people talk about that runner's high. I look forward to the day where I can experience that, but obviously I got to get out there and do it on a more consistent basis.
Yeah. So, I found myself enjoying the boxing more, to be honest, when it comes to the cardio.
Yeah. That's why I love it. Yeah, I can't do the just. It's like I'm like, it's like a slow death for me running
Yeah.
long distance. And I can do the sprints. Like I'll go to the track.
Yeah.
I've been going to the track, especially that's why I like being down in Miami this time of year because I appreciate the weather. So I'll just go to the track, get my little sprints in, do my ladder work. I'm good. Couple
Yeah.
squats, couple lunges, lunge 100 meters, and I'm out of there.
Yeah.
Um,
More in
where's
maintenance mode.
where's my gun? Said could have fooled me, BK.
Now I'm gonna get back on it, man. You're right. 405 should be at minimum, man.
And Unc said in his prime he could bench 315 cold.
315. Yeah.
Cold.
Cold turkey. Let's
Cold.
go.
Cold. Hey, yo, BK, you know what I was about to blurt out? I'm at the wrong airport, but the other one.
Oh, the other one.
Hey, yo, shout out to Samira in the building. Shout out to
yes.
Samira. We got Tube Savage. All right, do us a favor. If you didn't click the like button, click the like button. And if you want, you can even click that share button and copy the link and send it to your group chat if you want. No stress either way. Phyllis said, do you guys ever fast? I do the intermittent fasting, but I haven't done
like a true.
I've done like a two or 3 days, I think.
Okay. I think I did the 48 one time.
Yeah, that may have been what I did. Maybe 48. And it may have only been 36 now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, either 36 or 48. That's it.
I'm waiting for this to come back in I'm waiting for this joint to come back in season, the one you got.
What's that?
This the Trader Joe's joint.
Oh, the lotion. I'm like, what is it? Because you had the cap up. I couldn't really see it.
Yeah.
That junk clutch, right?
Yeah. Oh, your mic sound better now.
Hold on. I didn't realize I was blocking it. It wasn't on me.
Oh, okay.
It sounds better now?
Yeah, or it did.
Is it better now? Or
It's still good. It's just whenever you just picked it up, sounded extra fly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine though.
Right,
and make sure I'm good to go in the
tap your mic. Nope.
Nothing. Okay.
Mine when you tap it, listen. You can hear it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing. Okay.
So
that's
you going through but do this. Click the mic button and click MacBook for your input for your microphone, then go back to the mic. Yeah. Okay. And it should straighten that up. All right, man. Let's get into it. What you want to start with, man? I wanted to tap into this Theo Von Tucker interview. They had some. Yep, you live.
Good.
You good, Glay? Oh yeah. Oh, now I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And everybody in the chat, please remember how it sounds now. Because what I've noticed, I'll go back and watch these episodes in the evening and they don't sound crisp like this. It's because my mic ain't been on and the laptop mic has been on. So I'm going to need everybody mostly the viewers, because Dak can't always notice it on his end. But the viewers, y'all always have to let us know. So we'll run sound check at the beginning here and just kind of give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. But at least now you guys know. Yes, BK, 1 2 1 2 mic drop. Yeah. So Finn, Steve, all y'all, just make sure that our mic sounds like this. This is how the mic should sound. So appreciate that, Dak.
Nah, no problem.
All right, we're good to go.
I don't know why this stuff annoys. All right, so and matter of fact, even before we get into this Tucker conversation with Theo Von, I got a question for you, Glay. I got a question. And this has been something that, and I got a question for everybody actually, because we've been having a lot of these conversations built around the concept of uniting on truth. And Paula in the Discord, she mentioned something yesterday. We're having a bunch of conversations on religion, on truth, just a bunch of stuff. And my takeaway is that it may be impossible to unite on truth. And where I'm leaning in a direction of is uniting on decency. That word decency came out. And I don't know why it just kind of became relevant, because when I look at the decency, it's almost like comparing, let's say, and we're not getting into this today, but it's almost like comparing religion to like how I'll say, let's say, like I live by the rule of the golden rule, treating others the way that I want to be treated. That's what I live by. And when I look at the difference between like uniting on truth, like that's so hard for people to have a common just acceptance of what truth is, because in a lot of ways it's in the eyes of the beholder. It's based on perspective. It depends on what vantage point you're looking at it. You could be looking at a TV and describe it from behind the TV, and that be your truth. But somebody else looking at it from the other side, that's their truth. But then you gotta figure out, well, what side are you on? You know what I mean? But when I look up the word decency, and I'll share with you guys, actually, this is what came. Is it on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this is what I looked up when it comes to decency. And it says behavior that conforms to accepted standards of morality or respectability. I think it's a lot easier to unite on this, just being decent human beings, being a decent person to somebody, rather than figuring out how to unite on truth. Especially in areas where it may be a little bit harder to prove what's true or what's not, or you may be offending a certain group or offending something by stating that this is my truth. I want to unite on decency. I just want to be decent people, spread decency throughout the world, where we have this accepted behavior, this accepted standard of behavior, where we have a solid moral compass that a lot of us can agree on, and respectability. I think it's a lot easier for us to agree on, hey, what's a standard of morality? What's a standard of just being respectful to each other, rather than to be uniting on truth. And hopefully then the decency can lead us to a place where we can have more conversations to unpack what's truth or not, or what's your truth, and we can hear different people's perspective, come together and build from there, rather than just trying to, hey, we got to stand on truth right now, because it's too perspective based. It's too perspective based. And what I notice in my opinion is that truth, there tends to be a lot of individual perspective and emotion inserted into creating what one's truth is. Just my opinion. So that's kind of was the thought process behind the title of the show, which is truth overrated? So my question would be, is it more and I like what Steve just wrote, uniting on decency in the search of truth. I like that. I like that a lot. I do like that. Yeah. Cuz, you got anything?
Yeah. I think this is a great step in the right direction. I think this is exactly, we have to just somewhat peel back layers. But I think this is great. This is a great, pitch in that formation. I am seeing a lot of, I'm seeing in the comments, it's subjective. People have different definitions of it, et cetera, et cetera. And, I'm pretty sure Dak is very well aware of everything that y'all are probably going to put in the comments. So I'm pretty sure he took that into account before he got onto this. But what it does do, it's where you're paying attention more to the final word versus paying attention to that by him creating this word, and it's showing humility, in my opinion, from what his perspective is personally. So when it's more focused on whoever brings up the focus on, or wanting the focus to be like, well, hey, look, let's reunite on decency. This person is basically, in my opinion, showing, look, I'm willing to put down my shield, my sword, my gun, my knife, and by me showing you that, by saying I'm not in the pursuit of truth, because I know that is subjective, but I'm in the pursuit of decency. This shows that all weapons are on the table for me. I want to have a conversation with you. And sometimes when people typically are defending what the truth is, at least they feel like there is no other way, like he's saying. With these conversations get to a point where it just becomes a moot point. And so we have to understand that if the goal is going to be the pursuit of truth, well, think about, it's 2025 and we still arguing the same truths that we've been arguing for centuries. So the truth has been an issue. And like he says, is it overrated? Like, I think so, because we keep, like you guys are saying in the comments, it does make it very, it's perspective based, it's subjective, et cetera. So I think that we do have to somewhat show people an example of it. And, I'm glad you brought this up, because I was thinking about this and I was like, dang, I was going to write it down, but it was super late. But let's see. Problem is in definition. It's self-acceptable. Who defines acceptable? Because the mass shoplifting acceptable is some based in environments indoctrinated and absolutely critical thinking. Like, look, you're not going to say anything that we're not going to agree on, guys. So it's not that we're not aware of all the things that are probably going to come down the pipeline. But this is a active showing of a different term, because truth has been an issue. So we're trying decency. Remember, it's like we can't be so quick to collab on how it's not going to work. Let's see how we can make it work. I don't care what other people think. Believe me, to get people to believe, let's just think about this in hindsight. People believe in what they can't see, what they can't taste, what they can't smell, but they still believe in it. So you can't tell me that I can't convince people that we can get them to unite on decency. Like, I think anything can be done at this point in time. So, but my bad. I was right off a tangent. But what you brought me to? Dang, I forgot that. Go ahead and go. I forgot.
Just cut me off whenever you remember.
Okay.
But see, I think I would actually have a little bit of pushback as far as decency being subjective. I think internally we know. Now, we may still do certain things. We may understand what's being a decent human being and choose to do something else, but deep down we know. Just like kids tend to know what's decent, but then as we get older, we tend to rationalize going against what's decent for our own personal interest. I'll give you an example. What's one of the biggest topics right now going on in the world? Israel, Palestine. There's no way that in my mind that I don't think that Bibi Netanyahu knows what he's doing is not decent. There's no way that a lot of the people that are pushing the things that are going on, pushing for them to commit this genocide in Palestine, they know that that's not decent, but they rationalize it based on their truth and their truth is in air quotes based on that, hey, God gave me this land. Or if we don't do this, then these people are going to continue to try to get back our land. And the reason why I would say that they know what they're doing is wrong, because when it happened to them, they called it the Holocaust, and they remind us every single day that it was wrong. But then they turn around and do the same thing to another group of people. So it's very hard for me to think that these people just don't understand that it's not decent. You know what I'm saying? They know that that's not being a decent person. They know what, from a moral standpoint, that that's not right. That's why they go above and beyond to try to prove us with propaganda and manipulate us and do all these things to get us to get along with or to get on board with what they're doing. I think deep down, even though we may go against certain things that we go against our moral compass or go against what's decent to us, I think that I'm not saying that it's perfect from a standpoint of, hey, we all know and we all can agree on what's decent.
Right.
But I think deep down we know. I've never, when we do something wrong, deep down we know. We know we're doing something wrong. You may cheat on your girl, but deep down you know what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that that's not being a decent person.
Yeah. Well, and what I also like when you this will promote the mind to break out of it's what it wants the definition to be decent, because it brings up the conversation of what is decent. Mm-hmm. Because decent is just this we all know what decent is, right? But like now we're going to be forced to have the conversation of what decent is, so that maybe we can somewhat generate a new standard if you're not aware of it. Also, what I like with this is it allows people. But overall, what I've noticed in this topic is like, we're not going to get any common ground with this unless people are willing to hear the other side. And I think that's what I'm going to always continue to back Dak up on, is that Dak's ultimate goal ain't for you to understand that this is the play that he wants to run. He's concerned about winning the Super Bowl, which is peace, love, humanity, decency, and us live and cohabitate in a place where there's love spreading all across the world. It's the village is the world, or the world is our village, vice versa. And so what I always see people are willing to do is, Dak is always willing to do is just, look, man, I don't care what it is. I'm with whatever works and whatsoever going to bring us together. And what drives, oh, yes, I remember Dak. Okay. Oh, I remember Dak. So are we going? Are we going?
That's a hell of a feeling, bro. That's a hell of a feeling. Nah, say what you're saying.
Are we going?
Go back to it because I want you to elaborate on it.
So,
oh, you mean going back? I didn't know.
Yeah. Nah.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I don't want us to forget this because this is good, man. But this is a good this is a teaching moment for this is what we witnessed yesterday. And like I said, we're in a completely different state than we were yesterday. So guys, this is, me and Dak talking, y'all in the room, just vibe with us, baby. Just vibe with us. Like, just vibe. We're going to get into it. But fuck.
Bro, just shoot, man.
Okay. So
yeah.
My opinion and on my take on this, man, because after, Discord yesterday, after the conversations online with Holly yesterday, like I go straight into solution mode. And I've been on that ever since yesterday. Because, ultimately, like we want to have impact, but at the same time, like this shit start with us. Like we didn't give a fuck about impact when me and him was talking for. So like we said, this is icing on the cake that people listen in and watch, but bro, we just vibing. So this is what we're gonna vibe on. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, and we're not in an echo chamber. We hash shit out like it's a classroom and a debate room, and but it's always respectable. It's always got decency. But this is what I can see to be exactly why we have such a radical response to a lot of what Pierce Morgan's generation endured when they were coming up, and why there's now spaces for Nick Fuentes to be existent. And let's just bring that into the space of religion. The bigger upset when it comes down to the religion is that like cats ain't listening. Like when you're refusing to even listen or consider, this is why the pendulum swings so much. The reason why Nick Fuentes can exist in this day and age is because there's a moment where people were just not fucking listening. And so what I'm seeing here is a constant repeat of history. And I'm always holding boomers accountable because I believe that the boomers are our teachers and we are the product, and vice versa. It's going to continue to pass down. And religion has always been this conversation that the boomers have just never wanted to talk about, never wanted to challenge, even though they see inconsistencies, they see corruption, and they see things that are not correct. And they quickly and conveniently customize and say, well, that's not me, or that's not us, or that's not my God. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to have therapy with y'all. We trying to talk to y'all because we're not convinced, but we trying to get this shit off our chest, and we're always shut down. We're always told to shut the hell up. It's in a scripture. We're always told to be quiet. It don't matter. That's not what it says. You're wrong, et cetera, et cetera. And this is where you just get the rebellious response overall as a whole generation, because y'all don't listen. You're going to have to listen to somebody else if you truly want world peace. It doesn't matter what your belief is. You have to walk around with humility to understand your truth can't matter if he's speaking about his truth. You can't keep bringing up the Bible. He's just trying to be heard. He just wants to be seen. Why is that not enough for you want to have the compassion to listen to it? If he's poking holes, we can't take it defensively. So what I hate about religion is that religion, unfortunately, can't evolve because of this. And the same critical or the same contradicting people that are utilizing religion for bad things and hanging and killing and putting it in the name of God and all this corruption. It's because we, the people that are free, who have free will to talk about it, refuse to talk about it. So all the negative things continue to happen over and over. I am watching a movie from 1776. It's the same shit. The people that are enforcing and governing the religious laws are the same ones hanging and killing people. Why are we not paying attention to that? People are weaponizing the religion. And just because your experience has been amazing and it's been great and you've been saved does not mean that others are not on the same journey trying to figure out how they can find their way to be saved. But when you just throw a different language at them, it's not going to save them. God didn't throw a scripture at you and you believed him. There were experiences, there were conversations, there was opportunity, there was somebody pulling you, there was somebody who never gave up on you. Why are we not met with the same compassion? I would say that we're civilized human. I don't think we don't have to be on death row to now all of a sudden believe in God. We're just we're decent humans at the forefront of this. But it's almost like we're casted, we're shunned. It's almost like we're witchcraft, because we're asking questions. But I also noticed that religion was always built in fear at one point in time. So there was always a class of people that were the believers that they understood if they did not show that they did believe publicly, they were killed. And it just seems like that same fear mongering has been passed down, almost as if we talk about the inconsistency in this, maybe we won't go. We're passing down fear. We're not passing down faith. Faith is a confidence, and it's not necessarily backed by, you can't just not want to have these conversations or be defensive, or I'm saying I'm very defensive about why. You don't have to be defensive in the truth. The truth stands alone, with or without you. We shouldn't have to hold up these beliefs. They'll stand on their own. But when man is constantly understanding that if at one point, what keeps people in line in the country? The laws. But what keeps people in line in the world? The religion. So it makes it so much difficult. When you think about this at scale, bro, religion is the most beneficial thing to keep people in line. Because the same conversation that Piers Morgan says when he says, Nick, do you truly believe that, the 1 billion Christians are being overran by the small population of non-believers or the people that believe in something different? Are you serious? But let's really unpack that, because I think that was very, very, very deep there. The answer is yes. And history has always shown us that the people on the plantation always outnumbered the people that owned the slaves. But how was that able to be a thing? The people in Israel, it's always the small minority that's able to run what are we talking about? That's always been the case. Numbers have never been what's required. There are far less very wealthy people on earth, yet we always have comments in the conversations about how it's the rich and the wealthy. Well, I want you to know that's less than 1%. There's something to say that the people that are at scale or in abundance, who are outnumbering what most everybody is on this earth, are also the ones that are forced to turn a blind cheek to inconsistencies in things that we are seeing, and forced to say, well, that ain't me, I just think this is there's something to say about that. So that's my little rant.
Yeah, without going too far into it, and of course I don't mind going into it, but I think it gets to a point where when one person is discussing beliefs and another person is discussing solutions, or I don't want to say facts or truth or open, let's say, to, like, nothing's off the table when it comes to me.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's off the table when it comes to me. So for me, the entire conversation with religion always goes back to when I ask somebody who's religious, would you be willing to give up your religion to achieve world peace, the greater peace? If you think about that before answering yes, then perhaps that's enough reason to question your thoughts on religion. Think about it from that standpoint. What more would God, the creator of all of this, want than greater peace? And we all know that religion has been hijacked by man. Like, I don't think that is up for discussion. Now, that doesn't mean that God is bad, doesn't mean Jesus is bad, doesn't mean any of these things. Actually, I feel like the people that call that stuff out are calling it out on behalf and serving God and Jesus perhaps more than the people that don't call it out. However, I think that when I say, would you be willing to give up your religion to achieve greater peace, the greater peace for humanity, what other goal would God want more than that? And if we hesitate to say yes, I think it's largely based on a lot of us attribute certain things that we went through in life to religion. If I went through something and let's say I leaned on religion or I leaned on, let's say, a friend, and I got through that particular time, then I'm always going to feel this sense of like an obligation to uphold this friend or to uphold this religion because during that particular time in my life, it helped me get through that. That doesn't mean that just because something helped me get through something that was very hard in my life, that now I have to defend it at all costs moving forward as if there's nothing that can be changed. And it also doesn't mean that just because something helped me personally, that it helps the greater world. You know, it doesn't mean that. So when I say that nothing is off the table for me, there is nothing that I'm not willing to give up in my life besides obviously my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that I'm willing to give up in my life. As long as I'm not compromising my principles, like overall, I don't have a tie to anything that I'm not, and I'm willing to question my principles. I'm willing to question my morals. I'm willing to question anything in my life in order to achieve a particular goal. Nothing is off the table as far as criticism. Nothing is off the table as far as me making somebody criticizing something about me or me criticizing something about me and me not having a response where it's like, Jesus is Lord. It's like, okay, we understand Jesus is Lord. Cool. But do you want to discuss the point that's actually being discussed at hand? Or do you, or is that just what you're standing on when you don't have an argument or you don't have a logical response to what is being discussed? So I've been having this conversation when it comes to religion for 12 plus years. I've been having this very same conversation that we had on the show yesterday, that we had in the Discord yesterday for 12 plus years. And it's always the same exact response. It's the same response. So I'm not surprised by it. And perhaps, even though I have seen a lot of change in my group chat amongst certain family and friends, but it's usually very slow. And certain people, you can tell, like, look, there's never going to be you're never going to be open to questioning certain things when it comes to your faith, your religion. Cool. But I do think that it hinders us. Whenever you're not willing to be open for criticism in a particular area, it creates a blind spot. And not only does it create a blind spot, but it creates a vulnerability that a lot of people can now use to do demonic things. So if they know, if I'm looking to control you, and I know that this is an area that you're not willing to budge on, you will defend it at all costs. Now I can use that and identify with that. And now I can go colonize. I can look at the doctrine of discovery. I can now, when I'm going around and you have certain powers that be that say, oh no, you can colonize any group of people that doesn't believe in your same religion. Now it opens the door for that, because people are going to defend that particular religion by any means. There's no questioning when it comes to it. So therefore, we'll look at it and excuse the behavior of certain people that we just saw them complain about when it was a Holocaust happening on their people, but now they'll commit the very same genocide on another group of people, and people will look at it and say, God commanded me to be good to Israel.
That's what it doesn't allow. You're right. It's like the faith becomes the barrier. It becomes the door. It becomes the lock that doesn't allow new truth, updated truth, and a software update, because it's tied to old ways that have been what has sealed the door shut for centuries. We don't find it interesting that people have weaponized this thing that we say is supposed to give us eternal life. We don't find it interesting that the elites don't necessarily, we never know what the elites believe in, yet the people running around and contributing and in the trenches are the ones. I just the pushback isn't on what people believe in. I believe me, I will come in here and respect every religion as long as we allow it to allow us to exist together. I can't be for anything that won't allow me to exist with somebody else. I refuse to be in that. And to watch man have hijacked religion like they have, it's been passed down forever. We're still having this fighting argument like we're back in the freaking, out of the beginning of time. We're still fighting this and people are still not willing. How many more people got to get hung? How many more women have to get raped? How many more kids have to get thrown off a thing? How many more people have to get shot for us to realize there's some type of connection here? How many slaves have to be, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, why we've seen so many died on behalf of this. Why would we not be interested in something that would bring peace, love, and unity? Why would we not be open so we can somehow, we can just convince ourselves to turn a blind cheek to what we've seen man have done with this vehicle? No, we're not. We can't do that, guys. And like me and Dak, we was talking at like 2:00 in the morning. Who's accountable for this, Dak?
Who?
In all of this, not being willing to do that, the men.
Oh, the men, yeah, and I mean, it's the men, and I mean, it's the accountability goes in a lot of different ways. Like even yesterday, and shout out to Holly, because Holly and I actually connected on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Okay. She got a dope energy. But when Holly and I were going back and forth yesterday, you know, she was so critical of the things that Nick Fuentes was saying, and I made the statement before. Holly responded, and I said that, you know, we will be so critical of Nick, but listen to a lot of the things that he's saying, and then look at your Bible. Are you as critical of that as you are of the things that Nick is saying? And we can hate Nick for saying, hey, I want to marry within my race, within my culture. Something that, if we're all being honest with ourselves, we understand that completely. Nobody doesn't understand that. However, when Holly said, well, that goes against the Bible, that goes against the Bible. And then literally me, I'm not familiar with the scripture that I was getting ready to look up. I said, hold on, BK, take the show. Let me look, let's actually look into the Bible, see what they say about interracial marriage or marrying within your culture or race. Then we bring up, like in 30 seconds, it's like it shows that the Bible says that you should marry within your culture. Now, some people may say, oh, well, marrying within your culture is totally different marrying within your race. Is it? Is it? And then when I put that on the screen, I didn't see anybody in the chat say, and Holly responded with, like, didn't even respond to it and say, oh, yeah, I didn't know that it says that in Deuteronomy. I didn't know that God commands you to only marry within your culture. But nobody in the chat said, damn, yeah, I didn't know that either. Or, oh, yeah, you're right. Like, I didn't know that that's it. Everybody, Jesus is Lord.
Like even the believers.
I didn't see anybody say like, yo, either if you're a believer, then did you know that God said that and you just didn't feel the need to type that part in the chat? Or did you not know about it? So that's a couple different conversations, something that I run into on a regular basis when I have a lot of these religious conversations. A lot of the people that say that they're this or say that they're that, when I reference, hey, what about this part? Like, I have a significant issue with this part of this scripture. They either don't know about it
or crickets.
Will act like they know about it. BK has seen this happen over and over when I have these conversations with people. They'll either be crickets and trying to figure out, or they'll say, wait. It says that you could beat the shit out your slave. Well, I need to read the context around that. And it's like, wait, what? You need context to say whether or not this is right? And that's because you're in defense mode. Rather than just saying, oh, nah, that's wrong. I don't agree with that. And moving on. But you want to be in this defense mode so much, and it creates this limitation where you're trying to prove something. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm trying to get to the fucking goal. I'm trying to win. I'm not trying to prove that this strategy was the right. I'm trying to win, bro. That's it. I'm trying to accomplish the goal, so nothing is off the table when it comes to me. However, people become very limited in their thinking, and it compromises us, and it makes you much easier to control. Much easier to control. It makes it a lot easier for the people that are doing the evil things using your religion, doing it in the name of your God. It makes it a lot easier when you're so defensive of your religion. You're more defensive of a book than you are of what's actually happening. You seeing people having a genocide committed on them in real time, in real life. So it's very hard for me to have these type of conversations, because it's like you're always in a position where, and I saw it in the chat, where, some people even understand exactly what I'm saying, but they're still a little bit on that they don't feel comfortable saying, it's like, well, I get it, it's like, it's like we don't approach any other, as men, we don't approach any other type of issue, or we shouldn't perhaps. And maybe that's the problem, that we are tiptoeing around a lot of these issues to where we have the current society of weak male leadership that we have right now, which is committing a lot of this chaos. We all hear this, hard times create strong men create easy times create weak men create hard times. We all know that. But we'll sit here understanding that we're in that part of the cycle, that the chaos that the weak men have created, and we're sitting here like acting confused as if we don't know, like, oh, it's the weak men that created these times. You know what I mean? It's like we're acting puzzled about something that is right in front of our face. And when you have these conversations, you offend people so much just by asking questions. So it's like you got to walk on eggshells. Why do I have to walk on eggshells when I'm asking questions about something that is the ultimate truth? Do you really believe that it's the truth? Because if you really, the things that I really believe that are the truth, I don't go out of my way to get upset and to act so defensive about. It's the things that I'm insecure about. The things in my life that I'm insecure about, when somebody questions me about those things, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a vulnerable moment right now. When somebody questions sometimes, I think Critical did it the other day, because I always go back and forth in my mind, like, yo, is it like, should I be, reposting, like doing the reviews of these Nick videos and stuff like that? And Critical brought up something the other day, and he said something like, oh, you're doing it for money or something like that. And I responded like very sharply. And a part of that sharp response was because I know that I question those things every day in myself. That the answer may end up being like, nah, I got to speak on this, bro, because this is the person, this is the vehicle that I'm using to tap into the people. I wouldn't have connected with Finn if I wasn't posting these videos. I wouldn't have connected with a lot of these people. But that's a realistic question that I ask in my head. So therefore, I had a sharp response. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an insecurity. But the things that I'm secure on, bro, I don't act like, all right, cool. That's where you thinking, you think the sky's red? Cool. No big deal over here. It's the things that we question the most, but are uncomfortable admitting that we question those things, and uncomfortable admitting that we have those insecurities, but we want to double down and say, no, this is the truth. I'm defending it. Like BK said earlier, if it is the truth, you ain't got to do all that defending. People know, you'll know. But when you have that that when you believe in something so much that there's a little speck even in you that you're not really sure, that's, in my experience, those are the ones that go super hard in defending something rather than just knowing something. But that's just,
Yeah, I mean, and we're definitely seeing the comments. The comments are definitely engaged. Yeah, I mean, I've always I felt like I gave a good 24 hours before I got into this bag of this stuff again. But this is what I see with the older generation. They won't even let something. We can't even go to our OGs to talk about something like this. Like, this would be the problem.
That's an interesting way of looking at it, bro.
That, like, we're trying to go to the OGs, like, bro, what does this say? Or why does this say that? You yelling. You upset. You being defensive.
Yeah, why are you being defensive?
But if your kids came into the house and they was asking questions, I'm assuming that's how you raised your children. And then y'all wonder why the children don't fuck with the older generation. This is why they create their own political party. This is why they don't want to go to school. This is why it's up for them, because you don't want to hear the shit. And that's why
Nick Fuentes is created.
This is why Nick Fuentes has such a humongous following like he does right now, because everybody is always aggravated with somebody who doesn't believe in what they believe in or not willing to have the conversations and the question. So I'm just being honest as hell. This is exactly why somebody who can berate people and say in this and end that and F this and F that, and you're wondering how the hell did we get here? I am telling you, the people, not the government, the people will not listen to the children. And this is what they do. They rebel. The white boys are like, fuck this shit. I don't give a damn about what happened in Israel. I don't care about what happened to Jewish people. Fuck them. I don't care about what black people. I'm tired of hearing the slavery. Mm-hmm. I don't care about what religions say. The same people that say thou shalt not kill are killing. Did y'all just ignore that? We have a military, but we're saying God said so. God said go kill now. And for the believers, we just gonna watch that. So you're confused why we're asking questions when the people that told me thou shalt not kill are the ones killing. The ones that told me they were chosen people are the one exterminating or committing a genocide. And you want me to believe in that? I'm so upset with man. The fact that a man can subscribe to something that is a walking hypocrisy is why we have issues in the community now. We don't look like superheroes subscribing to the shit. It looks wild to the kids. They're like, how can you believe in that who says thou shalt not do that, but they're doing that? You didn't have no questions, Dad? No, just believe. Okay. Now they old enough to be like, my parents are idiots. Fuck this shit. I don't believe in nothing. Hitler's cool. See what we've done? We're so upset that they're saying it, but just question why they're saying it. Why is Nick Fuentes saying Hitler's cool? Because somebody went out of their way to say that he wasn't. And he did a little digging and he didn't listen. And now he's looking at, hold on, Hitler's cool. But guess what? Guess who the new age 2025 Hitler is? BB. All the same beliefs. But the believers aren't stopping the new genocide. So you wonder and you ask yourself, we thought that Holocaust would have happened through brute force. No, it was through the silence of the believers. That's what happened. So man is just, and now I just more and more as I see this, I'm seeing how we're here, guys. I'm seeing it. Because I'm saying, even when we try to get from the OGs, the folks that know, that been around, y'all tell us I don't want to talk about it. I'm very defensive. You're doing all these things that push people away from the religion now. We so damn upset. We like, man, we don't even want to believe in this no more. Why? Because the people that were set in front of us to show us that, guess what they did? Argue, fight, and being defensive. So when the pendulum swings back for the next generation, you wonder why this generation is so ungodly. Because the generation before was forcing them to be godly. Now we blame them. Now we blaming everybody else. Man, religion started in my house. It didn't start with nobody else. It started in my community. But what was my introduction to it? Shh, be quiet. Don't say nothing. Put your head down. Okay, cool. Yes, ma'am. But I got questions. Shut up. But that's what y'all telling us to this day. We just got questions. Why y'all telling us to be quiet? Why y'all silencing us? So now we got to go raise a pack of kids with a bunch of questions that they'll have that we don't have the answers to. And the only thing it reminds us is the burning desire that we had to want them get answered by our folks, but they just told us to be quiet, be defensive. Now we scared to look at this. Now this next generation, we scared to give our kids religion. We're scared of it. I swear to God. No pun intended. I swear I'm scared to give my child religion because I'm watching what it's doing, and I'm watching not nobody say nothing. I'm watching the believers not willing to stand on it. They just said, well, you just take care of you. That's it. I'm so scared. Y'all going to ignore the priests that do what they do? You're going to ignore the embezzlement? You're going to ignore all this stuff? We so scared to send our kids to a school because of possible shootings, et cetera, et cetera. And what did Nick say? That's less than like 1%. And we want laws change. Why the hell y'all don't want no law in your religion then? I've seen a lot more people get hung for religion than a school shooting, but y'all blaming the government. Well, wait, who's to blame for this? This whole generation just scared of religion now. We don't even know what to tell our kids. I don't know. Look, whatever you do, don't marry. You can't marry a Jewish girl, so just stay out of there. And if you get married to a white girl, I don't know if she like it because of what she would believe. And if you're Muslim, I don't know if the Christian people fuck. You think we're going to keep passing down this trauma over and over? Bro, we're running from the church so far because the people in the church didn't want to talk to us. We came asking for help, guidance, clearance, but nobody wanted to pop it to us.
Can I chime in very quickly?
Yeah.
I want to. Steve, so Big Bro Steve wrote, if religion was taken out of the equation, these same evil people would just move down the list of manipulation tactics. So let them move down the list. But why allow them to use the manipulation tactic that works best for them? If I'm playing in a football game, I want to, or if I'm in a boxing match, whatever these things are, I want the team that I'm playing against to have to go to their second option, to go to their third option, to go to their fourth option, because you know what they would prefer? To do it exactly as they drew it up in practice. My job is to make them go through all of their different options to get to the point where now they're doing what they haven't practiced at the most. They're doing what hasn't been as effective. Just because people will go down a list doesn't give us an excuse to not, let's force them to go down the list. Let's force them to use the next form of manipulation, because this one, we ain't gonna allow this to work. We want to believe in something so bad, like we'll just try to rationalize seeing everything in whatever way. It's like, I want to be with this girl so much, so I'll make up any excuse that I can just to be with her.
Like, look past all the red flags.
Move on, like figure out there may be something else out there for us. You may not even know what else is out there because you're just so passionate about figuring out whatever way you can to stay with this girl. Like go ahead, BK, keep going. My fault.
No, you keep going. OG, your volume is low.
I turned it up a little bit. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. I just turned the volume up.
So I always hear you the same. So yeah, in the chat, just let us know, y'all, for the sound check. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Angel.
Yeah, it just.
So Steve said they will still be effective to reach their goals. Steve, how do you know? How do you know that? That's like me sitting here playing against a team and saying, oh, well, I don't want to, every team, when they're running a play, quarterback has different options.
Georgia Southern.
He has his first read, he has his second read, he has his third read.
Yeah.
To say that, oh, well, even if we stop his first read, he's still going to get the second read. How do you know that? Like, how do you know that?
So, Steve, I like this comment. I like the public comment. So Steve says, isn't it more effective to all mutually agree that we just need to remove our ability to be influenced into doing evil? Absolutely. But we're just, I just think that the vehicle is the religion in a lot of these situations. Like we just can't ignore what's going on. Like, I just want to use what BB is doing now, that entire group of people complained about what we or not celebrate, but we are taught and spoken to about what had happened in the Holocaust. In this day and age, in 2025, there's currently a Holocaust going on, and it's based on religion. I don't know how else I have to cut, chop, and do anything with this. Their rationalization to people that probably morally would not agree with anything that BB is even doing are using the vehicle of religion to do it. I can't subscribe when I'm watching the new Hitler run the same play, and I guarantee the same people back then that didn't agree with the Holocaust back then were just okay with keeping their mouth shut because they were putting it in the vehicle of religion. All we're saying is that, look, there are cars coming in, and we're just saying, guys, the vehicle could be that. Now, if we're wrong, I got no problem saying, yo, put the religion right back on it. But to say that it's not that, as if we know, I think that's what brings me in more fear, is that, hold up, the one thing that nobody wants to touch, why is that one off the table, yet we haven't solved the problem? Why do we have to ignore atrocities that go against what the book is saying? I just want to hold the accountability.
And when you look at this battle of good versus evil, it's an ongoing battle. So Steve, yeah, if they use another tactic, okay, we're going to come to the table and huddle up and say, okay, this is the new tactic that they're using. How can we combat this? Once we combat, it's an ongoing thing. It's just like anything else in life. You don't ever make it. You don't ever arrive. It's an ongoing challenge. It's an ongoing challenge. So I don't think that we're ever going to get to a point where, oh, we got our solution. All right, now we can move. No, it's an ongoing thing. This is the battle of good versus evil. It just keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's a
moot point.
Yeah.
And I think the reason y'all see us even get on this, because now we're an hour in, bro, the connection and the love of humanity. Like, I don't know what y'all's purpose. Oh, he can't hear me? Bubbles, can y'all hear me in the chat? Just put a thumbs up if you can. Yeah, I know. Golly, I feel like I'm strapped in.
Is she talking about me? Or it didn't come up on my comment yet, so I don't know. Oh, Bubbles wrote, yeah, I can't hear you. I'm confused. What's going on right now? Can somebody give a thumbs up?
Oh, hello? Testing. How about now? You can hear me? All right, let us know in the chat. We're going to stop. Make sure y'all hear. Testing.
Oh, it says you can't hear me. Can't hear me.
UOG. Okay.
Hold on.
All good.
Let me switch mics.
Oh, yeah, they said no, it's you. I could hear. See, that's what I'm saying. I can hear you even though they saying they can't. That'd be the issue. BK, you strap.
This issue, so I don't know what's going on. I just switched mics, so y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. If not, I'll just take the mics off.
Okay, he said they hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, hopefully y'all heard what I was saying, but what did I just say? I forgot.
You was in your bag about moot point. You was like, man, it just gets to a moot point.
Oh yeah. As far as like with the like this is an ongoing battle. Like this battle between good versus evil. It's like, okay, let's say Steve's right. If they use another manipulation tactic after this one, then we huddle up, come to the table, and we figure out how to combat that point. It's an ongoing thing. Like what do we want? A one solution that's going to fix things for eternity? That's not realistic. Just like Bibi Netanyahu and the people that are doing evil, they got to keep working on their end. We have to be just as consistent with that energy working on our end. So
low volume, not better.
Some people saying it's better. Yeah, I just took it out. So hopefully y'all can hear me. It's not going to be as clear, but it is what it is. But I just don't understand why we look at it like, oh, if we don't have this, if it's not going to be a solution that's going to fix things for eternity, then I'm not considering it a solution. No, we figure out what's most. If we were on a football team, hey, what's hurting us the most?
They can hear you.
Okay, we're on a team. What's hurting us the most right now? Okay, let's solve the run.
The run.
Okay, now they're hitting us with the pass. Okay, now how can we figure out a way to solve the run, but also figure out maybe how to get some extra help on the pass?
It's
like
solution.
it's an ongoing type of thing. Like I just don't think that we should just sit here and just say, well, they're just going to use the next manipulation tactic if we solve this one. So therefore, why even move on to the next one? It's like, why not just try? Is it worth trying? Because clearly we've been trying this way for a very long time and it doesn't seem to work. Clearly, it's like if I have this bottle of water. This is religion. Let's say this is the purity in which religion was created on, because I see a lot of people saying that man manipulated and destroyed religion, but it was created with great intent. How y'all know that it was created with good intent beats me. Please provide that research to me that shows that, hey, religion was created with amazing intent. It was created to really do amazing things for people. If you have that research, provide it to me. But let's say that it was created with great intent. If I take some food coloring, or if I put anything in this bottle of water, then I dilute the purity of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what has happened over time. Now, you can say that it started off pure, but now this religion, there's so much blood in the water, it can't be clear. So therefore, now that you got so much blood in the water, now you have to make sure that you're putting so much positive water, positive religion, right? You got to combat the blood that's in the water. And it gets to a point where the people that are putting blood in the water are working a lot harder at the people trying to put the purity of the water back in. So at what point do we just say, you know what?
Dump the
whole thing. Dump the whole thing. We're done with it. Yeah. At what point do we get to that point? And we just say, you know what? We got to figure out a new way to fill this water up, or to fill whatever this up. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. Like,
like how much more blood we need. How many more hijackings we need? Like how many more kids we need? Like, and I'll tell you this, I'm gonna keep it traditional. If man don't figure this out, this shit ain't changing. It's the men. It's the men. If we don't lock in on this stuff, and I wanted to address Unc said it's human nature to want to destroy each other. Jealousy, greed, and envy that each person has against each other for whatever purpose is what keeps us from doing the right thing. I don't think that's the truth. I do not think it's human nature to want to destroy. I do not think it's human nature that has jealousy, greed, envy. I don't think it's the natural. I don't think it's human nature. I think the people that have hijacked history have made it this. You really dumped that water on your desk?
I tried to pour it in a cup. And
He really on the 3 asterisks this morning.
You see me trying to clean it all up now.
Yeah, I was like, yo,
why do that dumb shit?
But I personally don't think it is human nature to want to destroy. And I always like to take it back to the sandbox days, bro. Those kids ain't bro. I don't know what you think. I've seen kids playing the sandbox, bro. Different colors, different religions, different everything. I'm a part of the problem. We start putting the walls up and start setting the expectation. Those kids don't even know how they got here. It's when we start trying to explain to them why they're here, is all of a sudden when shit goes left and right. Dak on water. I know, right?
Dogs at the dog park who have never met each other. And they can get along. There may be one or two that's acting crazy. Get the dogs out of here. You know, your dog is. There's dogs at the dog park that can do this.
There's lions in the forest that can do this.
And we're supposed to be the superior beings. We're supposed to be the superior beings. We're supposed to be the ones. We probably already have the technology for flying cars, but we're still using the same conflict resolution that we used when. Perhaps some people were walking around on all fours. I don't know. Caveman, whatever. I don't know. People believe in that type of stuff. But whatever. Neither here nor there. We're still using the same conflict resolution skills from 3,000 years ago when it's convenient for us that we're using right now. How does that make any sense? How do we want to advance everything? We want to upgrade the iPhone. We want to upgrade TVs. We want to upgrade every other aspect of life. But when it comes to religion, nope. It's good as it is. I just don't, and it's just very limiting. It's very limiting. And you know how I know it's limiting? Because I have these conversations with people that are very rational people, very solution oriented. But when it comes to this, they just see it totally different. You can almost see this the defensive wall go up where it's like, oh, you're willing to approach other things like this, but with a more critical mindset. But when it comes to this, you feel like you're offending God. And my issue with religion is I think religion has hijacked spirituality. I think it's actually hijacked our relationship with the creator, with the universe, with whatever it is that you want to call it. To each
Right.
their own.
Yeah,
I think that it's
you're right.
hijacked the relationship. We don't have a spiritual relationship with
No.
God.
Mm-mm.
We do not. We don't have,
No.
because if we did have a spiritual relationship with God, then we treat each other better because we'd understand that God is the creator of all of us. So we would make it an obligation to treat each other, whether they look like you, whether the same race, same sex, same culture, same religion, it wouldn't even matter. We would see what's happening in Palestine as our brothers, our sisters, our children, instead of just, oh, damn, that's what they got going on. Damn, they bombed. Damn, they fucking Palestine up. Yo, what's for y'all want to order DoorDash?
Yeah. Just move on.
Like that's it's showing us in real time. Like, yo, it's whatever y'all think that it is creating.
It's doing it.
Under God, it's not, bro. It's not. And even when you actually detail the scripture, like, let's be real. When it comes to it, that's why I said the other day, when it comes to a lot of the things that Nick is saying, when it comes to a lot of the things that Bibi Netanyahu is doing, he can justify it by opening his Bible.
That's the problem.
There's nothing that's happening in Palestine right now
that didn't happen before,
justified with the scriptures in your Bible, bro.
That's the issue, y'all. That's the issue.
I don't get it, but we'll just defend it by any means. So what's wrong with Bibi doing what he's doing?
It's in the Bible.
What's wrong with what Bibi's doing?
Somebody got to answer. No, Dad. First off, two things. Babies aren't born wanting to destroy anything. How can it be human nature? They learned that. AMJ, absolutely. We are teaching the kids this shit. We gonna have to take responsibility. That's what we gonna do today. This is a responsible group today. We are the reason the kids grow up doing that. We're teaching them envy. How do the kids learn how to rob, steal? They're picking it up from somewhere, whether it be us or not. But if it's happening on our watch, then I'm to be held responsible. If people are hijacking religion in real time in front of me, then I'm responsible as a believer for it. Y'all don't have no problem when black people have problems in the black community. I can't say it's nobody else's fault. I gotta say, bro, yeah, it's on us. Y'all see us do it. We're two black guys that complain about black people doing shit they should have no business doing. How are we okay with accepting accountability for the adolescents that are running around robbing Southside Chicago, but religious people that believe aren't willing to accept the shit that Bibi is doing and say, you're right, it needs to change. And it's not going to change in the house. You have to stand for it. And it's a man's job to do it. I don't need women fighting this fight. I don't need Candace fighting this fight. Where the men at?
But you can never have a logical debate based on somebody's beliefs, bro. Like it's like if you present a logical conversation to somebody and this is just their belief, like it's not gonna, like there's always gonna be a standstill. It's like, hey, you know, this is the logical way, or let's discuss it just based on pure logic. And the reason why I say that you can never have a logical discussion with somebody that has beliefs is because what ended up happening yesterday in the chat, I was just questioning certain things, asking questions. Matter of fact, proved that Holly was wrong. Not only did nobody say anything as far as their God saying that, hey, I don't want y'all marrying other cultures. Not only did nobody say that, but all I saw in the chat was people saying Jesus is Lord. So because Jesus is Lord, you don't want to have this conversation?
Yeah.
because Jesus is Lord, everything. This is the same mindset that Bibi Netanyahu has.
This is it. And if we can't even come to the table and admit that, we got a couple super chat. Okay, you already on it.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. If we can't come to the table with even accepting responsibility as a believer and witnessing that what people are doing with what I am believing in, if we can't even get common ground there, guys, then you're right. It is off the table. And maybe this ain't possible, because you know what? I can't even blame government at this point in time. Why the fuck would I hold Donald Trump accountable if I'm not going to hold the people within my religious construct accountable? Why? Trump can do whatever the fuck he wants as far as I'm concerned. If I'm not going to challenge the priest the same way that I challenge the president, I don't want to fucking do this. I'm not off that picking and choosing shit, because that's what this is at this point. We acting like we don't see what happens in these places, these churches. People are running from the shit, bro. And we're just going to be like, nah, people just hijacked it. If we can't even come to the table and have respect, and me and Dak are some of the most, you don't even have to know what religion me and Dak are. When you pull up on us, you're going to feel that we just good humans. I don't need a religion necessarily for you to feel my spirit. You're going to feel it. But I guess to each its own, but I'm not going to sit here and keep holding the Republicans accountable, the left accountable, but I'm not willing to hold the people in my church accountable. That I won't be subscribing to. If I'm going to stand on business, it's all across the board. We keep that business shit all across the board. And so if you're not willing to hold business also in these other places, then what? All right, man. If it's just a pep rally, then I guess just let it be a pep rally then. Get us all juiced up, fuck the government, overthrow them. I guess we'll just be on that tip then. Because if there's got to be real change, we got to be willing to break down every belief, every constraint that we've subscribed to. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're really not really trying to be on this shit for real, for real. I'm not going to be willing to die for this shit. Keep going. Yeah, I'm not going to be the one willing to die for this shit. Dak ain't going to be the one willing to speak on this shit. And you telling me people ain't willing to do the same shit? Everybody okay with somebody else being the leader because they got to be held accountable. We're challenging it, but all the believers just look. Hey, man, I ain't going to say that. Yeah, bro, that's too much. Okay. This is what happens, bro. We need more. Like, this is what happens to the men. They just kind of duck off and just be like, oh, and then they slide, and then look what happens. Like, now we got people that are fighting wars that we should be fighting. Why are we fighting the religious war? Why are we fighting this shit? We the ones trying to figure out if we believe. Why the believers ain't fighting that shit over there? Why they not as pissed off and upset? Why they not speaking about it like that? Why they not trying to hold the people that they subscribe to, the religion that they subscribe, accountable? But it so happens that the two guys that ain't really necessarily saying it's yes versus no, but trying to find out more, so happen to be the two guys that morally are also trying to treat people with respect. But you keep subscribing to the shit that is showing you that it doesn't align with that. And like they said, like the Indian Hathaway that I love so much, when he got hung and he was being burnt alive in front of his community, he said a priest walked up to his burning cross and asked him, "Would you like to give your life to God before you pass away?" He said, "What do you mean? What do they believe in?" He was like, "They are Christian. They've given their life to God." He said, "I'd rather burn before I go anywhere than what they believe in." Go look up the story Hathaway. It'll change your perspective. He said, "I'd rather die and go to hell than to sit here and believe in what those people that are hanging, killing, and raping my people. I'd rather go than F that." But we don't talk about him, though. We're going to talk about Christopher Columbus, the guy who did it.
Let me read these super chats, and then I want to respond to what you're saying, because that's real, bro. That's real. Damn. All right. So from Robert, shout out to Robert. Appreciate you, brother. I would like to see you make a YouTube channel, marketing and go-to market strategy. Do you really want a theological debate channel? Keep in mind, people need to crawl before they can walk, before they can run. Maybe perhaps we should have a separate channel. BK and I've been talking about this, like, yo, we got to separate some of these combos.
Yeah, Rob,
make sure
it's not a bad idea.
One gets shut down, you know. But responding to your last point, people need to crawl before they can run. I mean, I think the crawling part is, hey, are you willing to question it? Like,
that's true.
You know, like, isn't that the crawling part? Like, I'm not even saying, like, let me be very clear. Religion is not even off the table for me. If you presented a strategy to me using religion of how we can get one step closer to the goal, I'm all ears. Nothing is off the table for me. But when I have these conversations with people where something is off the table for them, then it's like, how are we gonna, like, how can we work together? Nothing's off the table for me, but something's off the table for you.
This is why Ukraine happens.
And then when I think about, like, since you brought up Hatwe and like slavery, think back to slave times. And perhaps this is why it's good to see things through different perspectives, even in the Discord that we were having when we were talking about, you know, what's the foundation of Christianity for you? What's the foundation of the religion for you? And it's different for everybody. For some people, it helped them through a personal struggle. For other people, it enslaved them. For other people, it justified bringing them from Africa or coming here and enslaving the indigenous people here. So even when I think back to slavery, it's like, damn, who were the most loyal slaves? The people that were believing in Christianity, or the slaves that said, I ain't rocking with that? Like, how you gonna give me how the same people enslaving me, hanging me, gonna now give me something that's gonna save my life while they preaching to me, telling me to obey my earthly master and I can get into heaven? They're having their heaven right now.
That's the Nat Turner story.
So it's like the most obedient when it comes to religion, the most obedient slaves, they were the easiest to control. Those were the ones that bought in. Maybe Christianity has done amazing things for you. But if you're also acknowledging the fact that it's done horrendous things
to others,
then, but it's still off the table.
Nah, we can't do that. That, as you say, that sounds crazy, bro.
But Robert, I'm trying to crawl. Like, is that not crawling? I'm not even trying to offend. And so we got Bez in the chat. I don't know if Vons is still here.
Which one is Bez? What's Bez's name?
Bez is what was Bez's? He just came. Nasir.
Nasir. Okay, I see him.
Bez has been in this group chat. Bez has heard, like I said, like BK. Bez has heard this conversation over and over when it comes to me.
Oh gosh, I see what he wrote.
To the point where we've been on all different sides of it. Like, you know, it's like we've had this conversation for so long, and this is me crawling, Robert. Anybody that's seen me have a lot of these conversations, this is me crawling. I don't know how else, you know, to crawl. Like, I'm trying. It's like, this is the baby food. Like, I don't know what else to say. This is a total. My parents, I'm sure they're looking at it right now, and they know these conversations. I've been going back and forth with pastors for a very long time, and it got me to this point. Like, this has been an ongoing conversation, and y'all know. Like, at the end of the day, we all know what BK and I are saying. Y'all know what's going on here. It's just very hard and very difficult to move forward when people won't even, like, acknowledge what's happened and acknowledge, like, okay, let's come together. We're getting ready to build a company. All right, bro, you're willing to sacrifice this. You're willing to sacrifice that. One person says, I'm not willing to sacrifice that. How can we move forward? It doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't even make sense. But it's just it just becomes a circular argument, I know, which is why I was hesitant to even have a combo today.
I know, my bad.
It's not even your bad. I'm glad that we're having it, but it's just, you want to know why? Because it's not an enjoyable conversation. It's not enjoyable afterwards.
Yeah, this is stressful,
to question what somebody believes in to the point where they feel that they got to defend it because they get offended by just the questions that you're asking. It's not a pleasurable feeling when I get off of the live stream.
It's really not.
I'm, like, just thinking about this, like, damn, like, how do people get hooked on this so much? Like, it's just, you know, I don't even want to say it's a drug of choice, but to a lot of people, I believe that it is. To a lot of people, religion becomes a drug of choice. You're in it so much where you don't even realize. That's gonna offend people. Cool. And I'm not trying to offend anybody, but definitely. Let's do the super chat real quick.
Okay, my bad.
Shout out to Angel. Thank you, Angel, so much. Appreciate it. If
God
thank you,
is
Angel.
offended
By anything I say, he ain't no God of mine. Oof.
I'm at least we ain't got
you gonna now I'm looking out for a message to come through from Baz. I already know what.
Yeah, I saw Baz. I looked over it.
Oh, I didn't even see. I must have missed it.
Baz up there wilding.
But is he though? But is he though?
Why
I didn't even see what he said. I didn't even see what he said.
Good. Don't go looking for it. Baz, you wild. Baz said, just send me to hell.
Is he wilding? I mean, you just said the same thing about Hathaway. And hold up, that's an interesting point, bro. That's an interesting point. Even when it comes to the acceptance of heaven, you can have somebody committing atrocities their entire life, and then they become 80 and they get saved. They accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior. And let's say they live the rest of their life as solid human beings. 80 through 90, they're living well. They can get into heaven. They qualify to get into heaven. But somebody else who's never even been exposed to Christianity, let's say they live in a place in the world where they're never even exposed to it. Or let's say that somebody's just a decent human being who doesn't accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior. I don't accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior, but I love Jesus how could you not love Jesus based on all the stories that we hear about him? So now I can't get into heaven? Cool, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go there. I don't want to hang out with y'all. If I'm being real, I don't want to hang out over there where y'all being exclusive just based on people not accepting the same views that you have. I don't want to go there, bro. I'll go somewhere else. And guess what? You don't dictate whether I go to heaven or hell. I may go down the block to another spot.
I'm making another spot.
This is why sometimes, and Robert, I'm trying to crawl, but y'all it's very hard to just always have to walk on eggshells and always have to talk like I'm speaking to somebody like Garden. Well, say it like this, it's the way that it, you got to say it in a way that people can receive it. Like at a certain point, it's like you do that 10 times. Now I'm Nick Fuentes.
Yeah. The rebellion.
Now I'm Nick Fuentes. It's like, come on.
Like, yeah. Somebody said, I remember earlier, blaming slavery on Christianity is a cop-out.
No, see, this is the thing. It's not blaming slavery overall as a system on Christianity. But if I use Christianity to enslave you, you're going to look at it like, yeah, this person used Christianity to enslave me. Therefore, I just don't want to accept whatever this person is using to enslave me.
It's the byproduct.
There's been slavery, and this is when you're in defense mode, like clearly this person is. When you're in defense mode, these are the things that you hear me saying that I'm not saying. I've never blamed slavery on Christianity. But what I did blame is the slavery in America, saying that it was a tool used to enslave the minds of Black people in America. Is that a lie? I'm not blaming the entire concept of slavery on Christianity, bro. If clearly you don't listen to the show a lot, Tube Savage, because I talk all the time about the Arab slave trade that was far more vicious than the Atlantic slave trade. Matter of fact, the Europeans got the blueprint from the Arabs doing the Arab slave trade in the Middle East and across the northern Eastern Africa. They got the blueprint from them. And then they brought it over here. So, of course, I would never blame the entire institution of slavery on Christianity. The point that I was trying to make is that everybody's introduced to it in a different way. It's everybody. So your introduction may have been, hey, this helped me in this particular area of my life. Or, hey, my grandmother just taught me about it. She was in the church. For a lot of other people, it's totally different. It's totally different. So it's like, I guess because it was presented to you in a different way, we should accept it. Compared to, presented to somebody else, we shouldn't accept it. Okay, cool. This is like, we got to get out of this selfish way of thinking and thinking that just because something helped us personally, that it's something positive for the rest of the world.
But what's interesting is we started this. Holly, you funny for that. Holly's back in here. She said,
No. I will not be in any waiting room. Let me be very clear. Let me be very clear, because this is a serious, like, when it comes to this, I'm being very serious.
I got you.
I never need to go I am so comfortable with myself, bro. I don't even think about what happens after I go. I'm not even worried about going somewhere else. I'm so focused on what's going on right here. I don't care, bro. I don't care. What, you gonna burn me and like what? I don't care. Anybody that would threaten me that if I don't accept something that I'm gonna burn in hell, fuck you. How about that? If I don't accept what you're saying, I'm gonna burn in hell, fuck you. How about that? I don't give a damn about anybody who's trying to force me to accept something or else. You understand where I stand on that moving forward. Don't try. I will never be bullied by. You're not gonna bully me, bro. Never. And let's keep going, bro. Let's keep going, bro.
Let's keep it.
Somebody trying to bully me, trying to hang something over my head. You must be. You don't know me very well.
Yeah, I think it's just, it doesn't allow us to.
You see the Nick Fuentes come out, right?
Yeah.
I told y'all it's going to eventually come out.
This is the pendulum, bro. This is the radical. This is the behavior that the young generation is off. It's just like anything that is based in tradition that is not willing to change. Because when I hear tradition, I hear the unwilling to change seems to always be met with a completely opposite fortifying response to it. And it's just like, we just off that. If we not allowed to question why there are two believers and one gets to kill and the other one doesn't, and the one that doesn't kill justifies the one that is, and now I'm supposed to sift through here and just figure it out, okay, then it is what it is. This is why the Nick Fuentes shit happens. This is why that a kid in a house has got so much momentum. And you know what? I'm gonna define it even more. You know also why Nick Fuentes gets that shit? Is because Nick sees the opportunity in which he can recruit more people who are as equally as fed up as he may have been. And then the pendulum swings. We just not, bro, it's just like, it's just more and more, Dak, it's just more and more, Dak. I just see people just understanding like it just seems like the believers don't give a fuck about the non-believers, bro. It's just going to be what it is. They only care about themselves. They don't want to talk to us. They don't want to have the conversation with us. And I keep seeing messages say, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, just stop. Then what are we going to do? Guys, we're not trying to stop the run today. We're trying to identify that we have a problem with the run. Like, don't come to us for the answers today. Just understand that we're pointing out there's an issue. They keep running it up the A gap. Why can't we stop there? Why do we have to give you the way that we're going to win the game? We thought it was a group effort, a team effort. Why can't we handle it that way? It's like, well, what are we going to do? I see you, Unc. Well, what are we going to do? We can talk about my thing cut off. The feds got me, Finn. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's like, okay, man. Like, at the end of the day, we all supposed to accept that we're all like I'm seeing in the chat. We're all sinners. We're all not worthy. We're all this, all that. But it's just like, oh, okay, bruh. Like, like this is, but we also started this conversation, Dak, off with, well, if we can't meet at truth, then let's just meet at decency. That's how this started. And this is why we can't even use decency. Because everybody, and what did everybody do in the chat? They said, well, everybody has a different definition of decency. And so we just picked up our shit, slammed and said, fuck this shit. Like, it don't matter what we do. The people that are trying, it just don't matter what we do at this point.
You know what's so wild about this, bro? Is I don't even think if everybody watching this knows that I just recently went back to my hometown church because they were struggling so much because they got this old way of thinking, old way of seeing things. They got like 10 members. This church used to be flooded that I grew up going to. My generation went, my mom's generation went to that church. My nan and pop's generation went to that church. And I just went back to just to give. We did a Sunday dinner. It was on Saturday, but like a Sunday type of style dinner, family dinner, community space, because I'm looking like, yo, how can we figure out a way like to come together to figure out a way to help? You know what I mean? So it's like nothing's off the table for me. Nothing is off the table for me because deep down, I just really want to elevate people. I just really want people to like. I feel like I see visions of us living in a place where we don't have to live with all this hatred, all this killing, all these demonic behavior. And if you go back and read your Bible, when you think about Sodom and Gomorrah, when you look at all these different stories and stuff like that, look at what's going on in the world right now. If there is
yeah, I see where you're going.
I can't. If I was God, or if you were God, what would you do with this planet right now? God already flooded it, right? Already flooded it, fire and brimstone, whatever. Sodom and Gomorrah already, decided to destroy a particular city because they were acting evil and all this other stuff. And it's so funny now that Holly's on here. If you actually go back and listen to the book or read the book of Enoch, what's so funny, we were having a conversation about marrying different races and stuff like that. Go check out the book of Enoch. Go check out why God decided to punish the story of the book of Enoch, why he decided to punish that group of people. It was people marrying outside of their race. And like, we don't look at these stories. See, we're not curious. We just believe. When you just believe something, you'll never question it. What do they tell you? How do you learn? You ask questions. You ask questions. So it's the people that are asking questions that are learning the most, while the people that just believe, they don't even have the courage to even ask a question because it was commanded that, oh, you don't question that. Who told you that? Jesus was asking a whole bunch of questions and using his actions to oppose certain ways of life.
And look what they did.
But now we feel like, oh, we ain't got to ask no questions. Oh, because Jesus did all the work for us. I forget. So we're going to rely on Jesus who died for all of us thousands of years ago. And now we're going to wait for him to return to come and fix stuff. But what did the Jewish people say in that video? Let me play this video again. They said they're not waiting for anybody to come back and become their Messiah. Jewish people don't have that mindset. Their mindset is we'll become our own Messiah. It's a status that we strive to reach. Even if we never reach it, it's something that we strive to reach. Imagine if other people had that based on their standards of living. Imagine if we had something to oppose Bibi Netanyahu and what he's doing in Israel based on people that were passionate enough and principled enough and united enough to do things in a positive way to call out the BS that's going on. We don't have any of that. We don't have any of that. Christians make up, there's 2 billion or whatever, 1.1 to 2 billion Christians in this world. That's what Piers Morgan and Nick said. And 50 million or 15 million or let's just say 50 million Jews. And you telling me that all y'all Christians, y'all God-fearing Christians, y'all gonna sit there and allow this group of people to violate your God's commandments, and y'all got 2 billion on the planet? How is this happening?
They did it when Jesus was here, bro.
Oh, bro, like it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
They did it when
ridiculous, bro.
They did it when he was here. When he was here, it was the same thing. You think people weren't scared to? It was the same flow, bro. And I guess it was the same response. It was the same flow, and it's just like, what? Like, they gonna believe you when you dead and gone. Ain't that the saying? When you dead and gone, you're like, Jesus had more impact dead than he did when he was walking. Mm-hmm. Like, what? Well, we just saying if we was around during those times, it was up. If I was fucking with what he was on, if I was messing with what he was on, it was up.
If they put BK on that cross, best believe I'm gonna be on the next one. Best believe, hey, get a big one because I'm gonna be on the back or whatever. Like, bro. Yo,
I just don't understand. Like, it was up.
Yo, man, come on, bro. Everybody talk this tough talk, all this religious stuff, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Did you have a new segue, man?
Can we move on? Can we move on? I mean, we're gonna wrap this up soon, man. We said today we got it.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Oh, we did say that. I'm talking about some. You did say that.
Hold on. We got some super chats. Hold on.
Okay, yeah.
Hold on.
I think I did see something came in. Fan, why you always?
Whoa! We got super chats. Hold on.
Okay. The Robert.
Hold on. But yeah, get Robert. But then we got one before that. Hold on.
Oh, go back to that one then.
Is it only 2, Maya?
Oh, you talking about A West, Angel West?
Yeah, but no, Angel said 2.
Oh, nah, run it back to the
Hold on.
But I'll keep it talking. But like at the end of the day,
you telling me all I gotta say, all I gotta do is talk crazy and y'all gonna let me stop. All I gotta do is get emotional. Like, shout out to Angel. Oh, but Angel funny. Oh man. Wow, I just found my new preacher. Church of Love Everybody. I appreciate that, Angel. Appreciate that, Angel.
Come on, Angel.
Hold up, man. Shout out to Angel West tapping in. All right, you got Robert. You got Big Bro.
Robert B745. I can't thank you enough to being a contributor. Greatly appreciated. This definitely helps us keep the show consistent. So we always want to be, overly over the top in showing our appreciation for this stuff, because it does help us continue to make this happen. But needless to say, if you turn people off with the theological debate, then you can't spread your other messages, like the dangers of victimhood mentality. You can't be all things to all people. You have to pick your poison.
I agree. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to separate.
Another page. But here's the thing, Dak, and Robert,
I'm going to be honest. I don't agree.
I'm gonna get my response.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you go.
Well, the reason why I'm saying, like, I agree and I disagree.
Okay.
I'm never gonna. You're right. If we're talking about from this standpoint, we may turn off people in another area, but I think that way of thinking, that compromised way of thinking, perhaps is one of the reasons why we've gotten here. Well, it's like, oh, well, we may not be able to do this, but we'll accept that. We may not be able to. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's exactly the lesser of two evils. I definitely don't think that you're saying that, but it's like, no, like, just because somebody may be offended by certain truth that I'm saying, for every person that I may offend, and for every person that I may not want to say certain things, there's an Angel West that may be wanting to, or maybe having the same thoughts in her mind, but she doesn't have anybody to speak up and say those things from that standpoint. So I totally understand that we're going to turn off a lot of people with these conversations. We are going to turn off a lot of people from these conversations, and then maybe the financial game or the manhood game or whatever else cultural game that we talk about, they may not be willing to accept. But does that mean that we shouldn't talk about this, especially with it being such a foundational thing when it comes to how we see the world? So I understand and appreciate what you're saying 100%, and I'm going to take heed to it. And I'm not only going to just respond to it right now and say I agree and disagree, but also after the show, I'll continue to process it. BK and I will discuss it, and we'll figure out a way that obviously we want to capture as many people as possible. But I feel like you compromise your message in some areas when you're just trying to appease certain people, or you're worried about, well, I don't want to talk about this, because religion is one of those things that impacts how we see everything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go to. It just, unfortunately, that's what I was going to say. You said it, like, it just impacts it. I'm just sorry. Religion is in the same bedroom as politics. And so we keep wanting to separate and say, oh, it's government, but it's just like, sorry, religion is in it. Like,
case in point, Israel. What do a lot of people say? Why is Nick different than all of these other people speaking up about Israel? Because he's willing to say, no, this is a problem with the Jewish culture. Everybody else is just saying, oh, no, it's just the government of Israel. No, this is a religious thing. When you think you're the chosen people and you're referencing as the prime minister of Israel, you're referencing the Amalekites and saying that, hey, the Palestinians are the Amalekites in the Bible. How do you not? He's saying he's going to kill, and he's saying he's going to commit a genocide. That's what God commanded Saul to do in the Bible. So Bibi Netanyahu as the prime minister, yes, we can criticize the government, but also Bibi Netanyahu's bringing religion into it and using that to rile up his people. So obviously, when we need to address certain things, we can't just keep it political, because they're going beyond it.
Boom. That's the intertwine. That's what is putting the Jewish people in a particular position, because it's not only falling in the political game today. They've intertwined it with the religion. That's the think about this. And I remember, I think it was like, I've seen in the comments before, like trying to separate the two. Guys, the superpower is when you intertwine them. So no matter where you go in the room, it's the same message. It's an echo chamber for them. They don't have to separate religion and politics. They say, fuck that. Make the religion the politics and make the politics the religion. And fuck around and go grab some social media while you right at it. Are we not looking at the recipe? This dude is committing a genocide and none of y'all are mad.
That's it, BK. You own one of them.
You guys aren't enraged, bro. That's the key. We've unlocked it. If you want to get off devilish acts or acts of harm on humanity, then tie the religion and the politics together. Nobody will ever challenge you, and the people will stay exactly where we want them to stay.
Look at America. This is exactly what has happened in America. I keep cutting you off. My fault, BK. It's every time I'm trying. Yeah. This is exactly what has happened in America. Exactly what has happened with America. You tie the religion, and people don't like. Sometimes I think we underestimate, or maybe we're just dumbed down so much as a people to where we don't understand that has always been how, or that's been the most effective way for a government to have control, to include religion in it. What do we talk about? It's so easy when we complain about the Muslim countries, right? We don't say the Arab countries. We say, oh, those Muslim countries. And we identify them all based on, oh, they have extreme beliefs with Islam. So you're including that when we have those discussions about Muslims and Islam and would you want to live in a Muslim country? But then we don't understand that that's the same. It's just as effective as it is in controlling that group of people using that religion. Look how it controls us here. Look at how it controls people in Israel. It's the same thing across the board. You can't separate politics from religion. It's literally one using the other to build off of each other to the point where we'll look at it and we'll be like, well, what's really the issue here? Oh, well, if I believe in my faith, then yeah, I'll just focus on the politics and the government because I don't want to question my faith. So since I can't really figure out what's going on here, who's using who and what's using what, then I'll just focus on the politics. No, it's both.
Bingo.
It's both.
They intertwined it. They engraved it into the fabric so that it would be this difficult to ever get people to push back. Bro, we're just two people. We fight. Look at this combo. It's this shit. These mastermind, bro, I underestimate how intelligent men are. Cause bro, this campaign that rolled out centuries ago, still to this day has completely shaped our entire reality, our entire existence, bro. It's unbelievable that rollout they put, bro.
Hold on. Let's do these 2 points, and then I want to address what Michelle just wrote. Shout out to Angel coming through again.
Shout out, Angel.
You. Wrote my church, Our Lady of Infinite Nuance. Shout out to we got to tap in with Angel. Some of y'all we got to get on the screen, man. We got to get y'all coming in and tapping in. But appreciate you, Angel.
Yeah.
And then John, shout out to Johnny right here. Yeah, we in the building, John. Good to see you, brother.
What's up, John?
Good to see you. But Michelle wrote, "Thou shalt not kill." They aren't using their religion. They got us thinking they do. Michelle,
okay.
This is why perspective is so important. Because Michelle, I'm assuming that you're white based on your. I think. Well, I don't know if that's a. I don't even need to see your picture. I'm going to tell you why I'm assuming that you're white. Any black person in America would read what you just said and be like, what? And I'm going to tell you why. Now, that's just our perspective. Now, hear me out. You said they aren't using their religion. They got us thinking they do. Literally, if you understand the story of Nat Turner, they were using religion because there's chains and shackles. When you put chains and shackles on somebody, they know that you're imprisoning them. They know that they're enslaved. But when you enslave their mind, when you tell them and convince them and have a black pastor, Nat Turner, teaching them certain things like, oh, no, you need to obey your earthly master, be a good slave at the black church. But then you go to the white church and they're not teaching those things. Religion was intentionally used. It was used to control us more than any government. What was the government at the time? Show me in the government. Show me where it said. Show me what government writing was used. Have you ever heard of a government writing that was used to enslave us? I don't know. When we came over here, what was that? What doctrine was that? I don't know. There may have been one, but we don't know about it. But what we do know about it is they were using religion. They were using scripture. They were using it. And Bibi Netanyahu is using it now. You're sitting here saying that they aren't using religion. They just got us thinking they do, while they're up on TV referencing the Amalekites, saying we're going to do what God told us to do to the Amalekites, to the Palestinian people. It's like somebody's punching you in the face and you saying, hey, they ain't punching me in the face. Bro, they're using it. They've always been using it. They've always been using it. I just don't understand this. Just because and this is what happens. Because people that violate God's commandments, the people that are Christian or the people that subscribe to a religion where this goes against their religion, they'll say, oh, we don't accept them. They're not using it. They're not using what the religion of our religion. No, they are using it. You may just not want to align yourself with them, but they're using it for that. They're using it for that. They are tarnishing your religion. And you're sitting back, and instead of addressing it, you're just sitting back and saying like, oh, no, they're not a part of us. They are. They are. And matter of fact, those people that have been using religion, they've created the culture of religion more than people like you. Those are the people that have dominated the world using it, doing demonic things. But you think that it still has the purity of how you see it, the religion. It's not realistic, bro. People, this is delusional, bro.
Like, it's like, but this is what I was saying earlier. I don't understand how, if somebody, and I'm not saying right or wrong, right? Because this isn't a conversation of right or wrong right now. It's just perspective. So that's the key, right? So the goal isn't necessarily for me to push my beliefs to the forefront and make you take any of my beliefs. It's just for me to have an open dialogue so that we can hear different perspectives. And so you bring up a good point with saying it's been hijacked. So it's obviously, so when we talk about, let's just say in the Black community, it's very obvious in the Black community that that a small percentage of Black people have branded a whole cluster of Black people. So the small generation that Nick was even saying in the conversation says that, well, you know, Black people should be in prison, et cetera, blah, 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 all these things. As a Black person, I am aware of what the issues Nicks are talking about. And I understand that if I don't address my community, my Black folks, my Black parents, when I go volunteer and make sure that Black people understand there's a certain level of decorum, responsibility, and behavior that must be required because what we're not going to continue to do is one apple will not continue to spoil the bunch. For all the freedom fighters, for all the people that laid their lives laid their lives ahead in order for us to get this far and for us to go back this far, no, we're not going to allow this shit. So we're going to address certain different things that happen in our community. Now, we're not a part of it. I'm not robbing. I ain't killing. I ain't stealing. But I'm not going to sit here and ignore what the hell is happening in my community, because guess what? I don't get to take the skin off Christianity on and off. I get automatically associated with what the fuck somebody else who did some dumb shit did. So the hair, see, religion, you get to take it on and off. You get to speak up and be quiet when you want to. This is a veil. This is an outfit that you just get to conveniently put on. So if I want to kill today, I'm on that. If I want to have sex out of marriage, I'm on that. If I want a marriage, I'm on that. I can take this outfit off because guess what? People can't see what I believe in. And that's the problem. So we want people to take accountability within cultures and races, right? It's my job to take accountability for what my people be doing, and I do so. But why is it not the same energy when it's the believer's job to take accountability for what they doing? And not sit here and say, well, we not a part of that. I can't keep saying Southside Chicago ain't me. The problem don't get fixed that way. It's when I take a personal stance and say, I'm in Atlanta, but look, Southside Chicago, me too. Mm-hmm. And
That's
I don't want my
spirituality.
people to live that life. I don't want them to be seen that way. I want these children to have an opportunity. So you know what? I'm more concerned than what I'm going through. I'm concerned about what they going through. Because I know at the end of the day, if I want to leave this place a better place for young black kids, I'm going to have to step up. Because maybe they ain't got a father like me around. Maybe they ain't got a mother like me around. You know what? Maybe they ain't got a pastor like me around. So you know what? I'm going to pop out. And good, I ain't have to grow up in the hood for me to go speak in one. I ain't have to grow up in the hood to go give back to the less fortunate. I ain't have to go up in the hood to go to the high schools and make sure they understand discipline, obedience, structure, discipline, all these other things. I don't have to be a part of this shit. I just know it's a fucking problem. So you know what I'm going to do? Because I can't remove my skin, I'm not going to conveniently say, well, they're just you in that vehicle. I'm going to go get my black ass involved and understand ain't nobody, no other color going to solve the problem in the black community than black people. So I need the Christians to say, ain't nobody going to solve these problems in our community but Christian people. And if you don't, then keep letting BB and all these other clowns that have hijacked this shit keep stepping on this shit and keep driving people away from the shit. Until the people in Christianity put their nuts on the table, it ain't gonna fucking change. How many daughters, kids, women gotta get hung, killed, and pillaged for y'all to get the fuck up and say, this shit ain't off. I'm not off this shit no more, bro.
Yeah, Clay. Clay on one today, Clay. You got me on this one, Clay. You know we give scores after the shows. Yeah, Clay. Yeah, Clay. You know what I want to finish off with? Because I got to get a little more lighthearted. I ain't letting this steal my joy for the day. You know what I realized, bro? It goes back to what you said as far as leadership and being a man and being a woman and being a mother and a father. And you know what's wild? This is how I know that we don't see or like we have a selfish way of looking at things. When you're truly concerned about leaving the world in a better place for the next generation, you don't care. Nothing is off the table. Nothing is off the table. And how I know that is because I saw my parents, bro. My parents, when it came to my brother and I, and becoming as successful and trying to put us in the best possible positions they could, nothing has ever been off the table. Whether they got to go into debt, whether they got to borrow money, whether they got to do this, whether they got to do whatever it is, nothing is off the table. If they got to add stress on their life, if they got to question how they were doing things before, if they got to do that, nothing is off the table. When you prioritize the goal more than anything else, nothing is off the table. And we don't look at life that way. And that's why I say we're selfish. We'll say, well, this helped me out, so therefore I'm cool with it. It's helped me in my life overcome some tough obstacles. So therefore, no, we're pushing this. And I'll defend it at all costs and nobody can question it. But when you care about your kids and the next generation, nothing will ever be off the table. If something's going on with my parents or something like that, nothing is off the table. Everything stops. And we'll question everything in order to accomplish whatever it is that we're looking to accomplish. But we are a very selfish group of people. We're a very selfish group of people to the point where we will rationalize whatever it is that we want to believe in so we can justify in our own minds doing it or not doing something because it makes us feel better. That's what I see happening. Now, maybe that's not the case for everybody, but that's definitely something that I see occurring. Because when you care about the next generation so much, you won't have this mindset of, oh, I need to be defensive about this or I need to be defensive about that. Nah. Nothing's off the table. Everything is worth. I will sacrifice anything for this particular group of people. It's a different mindset. And we don't look at it like that. Here we've been living in this world where God has already flooded it once. He's already lit fire to certain cities based on y'all's scripture. All these things have happened and we're still sitting around repeating the same thing over and over. And we're not willing to question stuff. Look around at the world. If I was God sitting up top, I'd be sitting there saying like, yep, y'all got about 5 more minutes left to get this together. It's already crunch time. I've already given you're the kid that's complaining that they don't want to go to bed. 5 more minutes. Nah, I've already given y'all 5 more minutes. I'm getting ready to shut this shit down. I'm getting ready to shut this down.
If somebody don't step up and get the class under fucking control.
That's it. Let me I see somebody wrote, give us a Discord link. Critical, I got you, Critical. Give me
and don't forget, we got our meeting with Professor King today.
Oh shoot, today is
so we are going to be on time today.
Yeah. Let's
so while you're dropping the Discords, hit the like button if you're rocking with it. Even if you're not, at the end of the day, we're gonna sum it up, bro. It's always love. I don't care what you believe in, as long as you believe in humanity and being civilized and treating people with respect. I don't care what you believe in. Love is everywhere. I don't care about the religion. So we just want to push the conversation. It's uncomfortable, we know, but we're no longer going to practice this tradition of silence. We're going to speak about it, bro. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to find out what it is. And it's got to go through this process of you got to forge through. We got to push through. It's uncomfortable. We're never directly attacking anyone. We're using it's bar for bar for us. It's statement for statement. It's bar for bar. And at the end of the day, it's always love, regardless of what side you on. But I don't look at this as a side thing. You know what? Let me correct my words. It's not a side thing. If you're a human, I got your back. And I hope it can be reciprocated regardless. So at the end of the day, we know these are tough convos, but look, it's always fucking love. And I saw somebody write in the comments earlier, do we have to use the cussing and yelling and all that? Look, bro, this is what the fuck I be on. You ain't got to fuck with it. This the shit I be on. I'm unapologetically what I be on. This shit has gotten me, being this way, gotten me very far in life. And being enthusiastic, showing passion. If I was super religious, please believe I'm gonna be passionate. I'm not half-ass on doing nothing. So this the energy I be on. I understand it ain't the way that you rocking with it. They got people that got podcasts that censor that shit out. This just ain't one of them.
That's a fact. And let me be clear. It seems like your energy, you worried about us cursing. Your God flooded the planet. Or maybe not your God. Mm-hmm. But God's flooding the planet. There's genocides and you worried about people cursing. Look, this may not be for you, bro. I'm being totally honest. This is not for everybody. Yeah. This is not for everybody. Nobody's pressure. And I hope some people respect it. I hope some people value that. You may not like how the communication is being had. And for a lot of, and BK and I have gone back and forth when it comes to this. You think that people make a difference or, well, if you say it this way, that's just some bullshit that people say because they don't really want to hear what you're saying anyway. So they'll use that as an excuse to say, oh, well, it's the cursing. Is it? No, you're just using that as an excuse to perhaps not entertain. I'm not saying you in particular. I don't know who wrote it.
Well, she said it again. She just commented again. You can show passion without cursing, period.
Correct. And okay, you can. And I can, but I'm not. So therefore, if you need that, then you may want to go to another channel. I'm being straightforward. With the policing the language, how about you start a channel? Put your link to your channel in the chat right now. We'll follow that and we'll give everybody the opportunity to go to your channel so they can hear more of these conversations that are maybe more aligned, I guess, more policed as far as the tone and the cursing. So it's like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Nobody's forcing anybody to be here.
Absolutely not. And look, I speak what my generation be on. This message may not be for you. The generation we cussing. We passionate. We behind the shit we stand on. Look, I'm not trying to appease to nobody. I'm in my authentic self, and I'm cussing. The fuck? Yo, my mom can't get on this channel and tell me stop doing that. Obviously, I ain't gonna cuss in front of my mom, but I'm not in front of my mom right now. Who on earth thinks they can dictate to me? A police officer can't tell me to stop cussing. If you ain't my mom or my dad, you got to know your lane. And see, this is that older generation doing what they typically do. Don't do that. Man, we off all of that shit. If you got tradition, this new motherfuckers in the room. That's what we on. This young generation need us. They can't use the shit y'all was using. That update ain't working no more. So we just going to have to be turned with it, bro.
And your name on your channel is Sassy. You don't like come on. Now,
but here's look at this. Look, you're doing too much now. It was a general observation. Now retract it a little bit. Look, this is why you just don't comment. because you might get your name called. So it's better off to just sit back and not have to do all this. If you have been watching this show for quite some time, we've been on this. You new to the channel. We ain't new to this. We true to this. So our community know what's up. So if it's not your vibe, I promise you, they got people that's outside with the, you know, they on their kumbaya shit. Off that. That's not what my channel wants.
Let
my
me ask
channel
you
don't
this.
want that.
Sassy, have you commented about anything else other than the cursing? I'm just wondering. Because
I don't remember that.
This is what ends up happening. You'll comment about the cursing, but have you commented about any of the other content? I would love to know. But we're gonna move on. We're not gonna spend much time on that. All right. So shout out to Robert.
Shout out Robert. Shout out Robert.
There are practical considerations when working with the YouTube algorithm. With the subscriber type model, switching up core audience is very punishing. There's a balance to saying anything and having a wide audience. You are 100% correct. There's a balance to say anything and having a wide audience. Let me be very clear. And I don't even know. I'm not even sure. Maya actually texted me and she said that I think I took what Robert said wrong the first time. So I'm not sure. This is not even a response to you, Robert. But let me read it again to kind of figure out. Hey, reading comprehension was always my biggest challenge in school. Let me, there are practical considerations when working with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, so it's about the YouTube algorithm. With a subscriber type model, switching up core audience is very punishing. I don't know what's being switched up, but okay. There's a balance to saying anything and having a wide audience. There's a balance to saying anything. Robert, if don't send it in a super chat, but please elaborate on the things that you're saying. But let me be very clear. I operate based on a life algorithm. I put out a certain energy and I expect it to come back, or if it doesn't come back, I'm not really worried about the YouTube algorithm. Like I said, you know, we've been doing this show for, this is like year 4. Perhaps it would have been a lot more successful financially and in other ways, and maybe would have had more people in the chat. However, I'm operating based on this life algorithm, bro. Like coming in and matter of fact, probably don't even need to elaborate on that because I don't even know what exactly. I don't even think that I disagree with what Robert is saying at all. But
yeah, from what I'm saying, yeah,
was just making more of a general statement. But yeah, to each their own. Yeah, there's definitely, and we value the opinions of everybody, especially if you know something about the YouTube algorithm that can help us get out to more people, then absolutely share that. So definitely, I don't want to be too defensive when it comes to that. So let me process what you're saying, Robert. You elaborate on it, and then BK and I will go back to the drawing board. We'll figure out what works best.
Yeah. Oh, Sassy, I literally just joined and was inundated with cursing and monologue. Sassy, I'm not. Everything you're saying is right. I do be cussing. I'm accepting all responsibility. I'm not running from what you're saying, that you are not right. You are right. I'm just saying I'm not going to stop cussing in the most respectful way. It's not even a personal attack on you. It's just how we do the show. Like, I apologize, I guess. It's never directly towards anybody, but I love to have a space where I can talk. Like if I'm in the locker room speaking with my boys, you're gonna tell me I can't cuss in front of my dogs. When I talk to Dak, I'm cussing, but then when I get on the YouTube channel, because guests are watching that are all grown-ups, I'm just not really like, I want people to fall in love with who I am, not who I need to become because there's an audience watching. We like this in front of the 30 people that are in here and not in front. And I mean, like you said, he's been doing this quite a while. We've got a lot of views. We got a lot of hits. There's some value in what I feel like I'm being able to do. So let's see, Our Lady of Infinite Cussing. Phyllis, I personally use curse words as commas and explanation points. Facts. We need the different opinions because BK and Dat be bugging sometimes. Yeah, I'm cool with that, Vons. Fuck it. We're like, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. We definitely gonna talk about it. So I got no see Dak, you need to just let that thing go.
Bro, I didn't say anything.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I had to check the temperature of the water, bro. So like I said, Sassy, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. You are right. I'm cussing, but that's just gonna be what it's gonna be. I hope you can still stick around and see me for more than that, but I'm gonna be cussing, bro. So I don't want to set the expectation any differently than what it is. So I appreciate you being here regardless.
So Robert said, Do you want to educate millions about the dangers of victimhood mentality or have a theological debate with hundreds? So do we have to choose between both?
There we
And
go.
let me be very clear. Isn't there a song that says, I'd rather 10 wolves than 100 sheep or something like that? What did we talk about earlier in the show? I want a small, tight-knit community like the Jewish people. I don't need the masses. Christianity is the masses. Jewish people are running everything. So respectfully to your comment, Robert, do you want to educate millions about the dangers of victimhood mentality? You're kind of putting us in a box as if we can't. You're kind of putting us in a box that if you present certain things, or if you bring up God, if bringing up God is enough to turn people away from our channel, then perhaps we need to talk more about that. Perhaps we need to create a space where this is more socially accepted, because perhaps that's the problem that we're seeing in the world, that we can't talk about these things. If bringing up and having a conversation around religion is enough to turn you off from gaining value in a particular other area that you may see value in, or it's preventing you from even maybe opening up your eyes to even seeing the possibility of receiving value from a channel, then perhaps that means that we need to talk about it even more. Perhaps that means we need to talk about it even more until there is an open enough space where this is accepted to have these type of conversations. Because as long as you bringing up religion is enough to turn people away from you, then we're seeing exactly what the problem is. So do we turn away from the problem, or do we lean into it? I don't know. Go ahead.
But no, look, Dak, he kind of doubled down on it, and you can't do both, unfortunately. Nah, that's the old generation.
See, no,
that ain't us. Yeah. Like, this is that boomer shit, bro. Y'all can't. You right. That's why the religion usually is pushed on from the older generation. Yo, I'm telling you, we in the trenches. I promise you, these kids that are running around with ski masks and AK-47 don't give a fuck about what you are religious-wise, bro. I promise you. So I'm telling you, think we can because that's what you've grown through. I'm telling you, you can. This young generation, dog, they ain't walked in a church in 20-something years. They don't know a thing about the Bible.
How about this? You said we can't. How about this? Rather than arguing whether we can or we can't, how about we just let the results dictate it? How about we appreciate you? Hopefully you'll continue to tap in because we appreciate all the support that you continue to give. So if you continue to give your support, how about we just let the chips fall where they may? We don't even have to argue now. We don't have to go back and forth about who we can reach and who we can't reach. Let's all just tap in. We got our community, and let's see where it goes from there. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens then. We'll see who we can communicate with, who we can tap into. And because as much as you may turn certain people off from a lot of these theological conversations, there's a whole lot of people that want to have these theological conversations, yes, but they feel like they can't speak to anybody about them. So therefore they have nowhere to go. So perhaps we'll be the platform that, since everybody else is adjusting and not wanting to speak on these things because it lowers your views, because it lowers the money that you're getting, cool. We'll just be that platform that allows that. Yeah. We'll be that platform. So it's cool. But we want you especially to continue to support, to continue sticking around, to continue giving your advice. We appreciate it, and we want to see where this thing can go. So I think that us working with you and continuing to work with the group that we have here and us continuing to build on that, I think that that's going to create an amazing space that otherwise is not out there because of exactly what you just said. Nobody wants to talk about this because it turns people off. It lowers your views. It lowers the amount of money that you're getting. So if that's the case, then allow us to be that platform that will. You can come here. You can come here and have that conversation because I feel for those people that want to have these conversations, but because everybody in their family, all their friends, they're opposed to it because this is the same thing that I've been going through in my group chat with Vons. Vons is just nothing is gonna change Von's mindset when it comes to Christianity. That's just his mindset. But Vons continues to tap into the chat. Vons continues to show up to the show more than perhaps anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Or just as much as anybody.
That is true.
So a lot of times we build up this fear in our mind and it convinces us to not talk about certain things when those are the exact things that we should be talking about. And whether people say that, and a lot of people, you know what I noticed? A lot of people will say that they're getting turned off by certain things. But
They'll
I
come
noticed
back.
that whether it's in relationships, whether it's in other areas of life, those are the people that may come back. They may not even write in the chat, but they're still there.
They'll
You wanna know
watch.
why? Because they're engaged. And even though they may argue back and forth with you, they know deep down, even though they may never admit it, they know deep down that there's some substance in what you're saying. And there's a lot of genuine energy in what you're saying. So even though you may, the people that argue against or defend that particular religion the most, they'll be back. They'll be back because they like that engagement. And the people that defend it the most, what did I say earlier? Those are the people that have the most questions about it, but they hide their questions and they hide their insecurities based on the fact that they're going to be passionate about defending something. So let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. We're doing this on the fly. Like Unc said, it's a learning process. So give us the grace. Please, I'm asking you, give us the grace and let's see where this thing goes. Let's see where it goes.
We got a super chat, then we gotta go.
Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead.
All right. Shout out Angel West. You've been really tapped in, man, for sure. We appreciate this. This oasis of authenticity is proof of God. I ain't arguing with that one. That's a mic drop to me.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't arguing with that one. That's a mic drop. Yeah, so that's all we got. So guys, obviously this conversation is not going to end today. But I think we got a lot off our chest. Everybody did. So at the end of the day, getting it out of your system, I think, is equally as important into receiving information as well. And so maybe that was the purpose. We were all able to put our opinions and voices on the table. And I appreciate every single one of y'all, regardless of what was said. And I do appreciate you guys even spending the past 2 hours with us. We enjoy it. Yeah. To cut up.
I think we missed the super chat.
Oh, which one?
Maya sent me one from Murph.
Okay. Murph. Oh, yeah. It wasn't highlighted. I got it. Here you go right here. But I don't know. It's not highlighted.
Yeah, it wasn't highlighted on mine either.
Hippo character. Okay, so Murph 110, thank you so much. We got Hippo character sitting into an office chair when they both transform into a mecha chair. Hippo hero. Murph, don't send a chat again, but just let us know. Define to me what that means. And definitely subscribe because we gotta go. Honestly, we got a meeting. So we are going to do our breathing, or what we gonna do that?
Man, forget that breath work. Nah, let me stop. All right, yeah, we got our box breathing. Y'all know what we do. Please do us a favor, like. And if you're not gonna do the box breathing, please subscribe before you leave. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Definitely tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get into our box breathing. We have another one?
No, this is the meme.
Maya, don't get on camera. Your hair ain't done.
This dude always got something, y'all. This dude always got something, bro. Oh, Mickey Shaw. We just got another
middle finger. You see this? No. And oh man.
Okay, Mickey. Shout out to Mickey, man. You've been tapped in since day one, bro. Just caught the end. I love it. I ain't going anywhere. LOL. Love y'all, man. It's always fucking love, bro. At the end of the day, we just love humans. So we ain't stopping. We ain't stopping shit. We about to turn this shit around, bro.
You know he trolling. He trolling.
Extra undercut.
He trolling. Yeah, he trolling.
But yeah, just greatly appreciate it, and we just gonna keep this thing rolling, man. Because at the end of the day, we want our goal is just the world peace, and so we understand we gonna have to push down certain tradition and moot point areas and sticky convos and things of that nature to get there. Because if it was so easy to separate the two and solve it, please believe this shit would have been handled a long time ago. So we the new guys on the block. What y'all been doing ain't been working. So we pulling up as consultants and we about to give our perspective. We got some shit to pop, and this is just what we on. So we love all of y'all for real. I have not fucking for a chat.
Maya gonna get all right. Wait till the camera go up. You're gonna see a different me. All right. Let's do this box breathing.
Yeah.
All right, box breathing. No matter of fact, yeah, because we got a meeting at 10:30.
All right. So for all y'all that haven't done the box breathing with us, it's a technique that was introduced to us by our big bro Steve. So we're gonna get into it with a 4-second inhale, in which we're very intentional with the positive energy that we're receiving and inhaling, like all that breath that's entering our system. We want us to see that as all positive energy, limitless energy, anything that's going to empower us, give us the confidence, all these different things. And then we're going to do a 4-second hold. And after our 4-second hold, we'll do a 4-second exhale, which we're releasing all the negative energy, anything limiting. That's what's going to happen. And then we'll do a 4-second hold, and then we'll repeat that cycle 4 times. So let's get into it. If you're in a safe place, close your eyes or feel free to do whatever's best for you. I like to close my eyes, but let's get into this 4-second inhale. Ready, begin. Hold. Release. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale positive energy. Feel the energy coming in. There you go. Hold. Exhale. Hold. All right. Get that last bit of good energy in you. Well, we're going to continue. Just inhale some good energy. Go. Hold. Then we're going to get that last bit of negative energy out of our system. Release it. Release it. Go. My bunch. Get it out of my system. Get it out of my system. All right. Hold. All right. Oh, man. I love y'all. I hear something in the background. Like, what is that annoying?
Less fussing, more cussing. Angel West.
Less fussing, more cussing. Yo, now we're going to be trolling.
Now it's super troll.
Yo, Robert said this YouTube should be a funnel converting Nick's audience to yours based on common values with Nick for maximum growth. Then these people can be funneled to other sources for more controversial topics. I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that, Robert.
What's you over here? Over here. Maya just came over here like, relax. I'm like, bro, I just did my box breathing. I don't disagree with anything that Robert just said.
Yeah. So, I mean, for sure, me and Dak have been talking about it, but we're definitely we understand like kind of what Robert is hitting on. It almost seems as if he's the way I'm looking at it is like at the same time, like if we listen to what he's saying, but like preface it, it's like, well, at the end of the day, Robert just wants the YouTube account to be maximized. Mm-hmm. You know, that's how I'm looking at it. So, Robert, we definitely see what you're trying to put down. Yeah, and look, me and Dak have already been in talks about taking more of this super controversial stuff to a more paid wall situation. So we've been looking into platforms like Patreon and other resources. We're trying to see which one works out the best so we can include the audience and it not be very expensive, but just a place where the entire community can go in and we can feel very comfortable speaking about these very controversial topics and not necessarily be penalized because of it. Because obviously we do know YouTube does penalize you based on the topics and the words that you choose to discuss. So that's something that we definitely want to roll out in January. So we've got a couple more weeks in which we want to do that. Let's be honest, Dak has been doing this quite some time. His audience is growing. His word is growing. The community is growing. And we want to set ourselves up for a long-term success so that the business at no point can be compromised. So imagine just one day we waking up and this channel disappears. We lose all of you guys. So we're going to definitely push in the next 3 weeks ourselves to find a platform that allows that. So it is a very possibility that it will be behind a paywall of some sort, but nothing going to be crazy. You know, if it's $5.99, $8.99, $9.99, we'll kind of divvy out and kind of see what is most practical, but what also allows us to continue to do this at a high level. And then we're going to move forward from there. So definitely in the next couple weeks, we decided, this week after that long Nick Fuentes phone call, it's like, damn, man, I think we really got to move this off of this platform because we need this message to grow, not move backwards. So be patient with us. We want your support. Join the Discord. And then please also allow us to give some time to find a platform like Patreon or things of that nature so that we can continue to do these shows unfiltered, uncensored, and full of cussing. You feel me?
And I just want to reiterate, what BK said and highlight something that we do. Like we really, before we got to jump off, we really take all of y'all, even if we argue, if we go back and forth with y'all in the chat, like even with some of the suggestions with cursing and stuff like that, we're going to talk about it later. Like nothing is off the table. Nothing is off the table. So we may go back and forth and push back, but even some of the suggestions that Robert made, we'll take heed to all of this. Not saying that we're going to change certain things, but we take heed to everything. We process it, and we value everybody's opinion, especially given the fact that a lot of y'all, Robert, just speaking about Robert, obviously you've supported us and you are invested in this as well. And we value everybody, not just, if you supported monetarily, but also just supporting with your time, effort, and energy, tapping in with us. I mean, a lot of y'all tapped in with us for like 7 hours the other day. Like that's
wild, bro.
That's an investment. That's skin in the game. So
absolutely,
we do value everybody's opinion. We may bite back at you live on the show, but we'll always come back and make sure that we're revisiting things and making sure that we're putting the show above even our personal interest. So.
That's it, bro.
All right, let me get one quote. Can I get one quote from Finn real quick?
Oh yeah, big Finn. My bad, Finn.
What did Finn write? Yeah, Finn wrote a bunch. Endure the breaking. What survives the blow is the part of you built to last. Love that. Big bro Steve, who always gives us. Yeah, we got the what's the book? Marcus Aurelius's book. Steve putting out part 2. Steve always come with the heat. Let's get out there and lead with courage, doing to others. Be the change. I think we had one more from Finn. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. Love that, bro. Love that. And shout out to Unc, always coming through. A man cannot be taught beyond one's understanding of himself and the universe in which he lives. No one can make him see outside of the picture that he set forth in his mind. Baldwin, dope, Unc. Appreciate y'all. Yo, we love y'all, bro. Like, we love y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. And we'll see y'all tomorrow at 8 a.m. or 8:01 or 8:02. But we'll see y'all around that time.
Peace.
Yeah.
Come on.